It's just a year ago that we've been here, and we are back in Nuremberg at the trade show. This is amazing, Felix, or?
And you are repeating yourself from the year before and the year before and the year before.
Yes, somehow it feels like this. This is the fifth year in a row that we do live and interactive from the SPS trade show. This is the melting point for industrial automation. And we are happy that you are joining us from home or from work, wherever you are. And it's a pleasure, Felix, for you and for me, that you are listening what we have to tell you about latest news from Beckhoff.
Yes, and I think today we have something specially prepared for you. We are doing one show just about artificial intelligence. Probably the hype topic number one. You can see it in the stock market, you can see it in the newspapers. It's everywhere, and for sure it's also an automation technology. And that's why we really need to explore this. If you have any questions during the show, don't hesitate. Type your question into the chat or write us an email to meet@beckhoff.com, or jump on a car and come to Nuremberg.
Yeah. Now, in the last 5 years, we presented about 160 different technology topics, but today the next 4 topics are all around artificial intelligence.
And our first guest in the show has been a constant throughout all of the 5 years.
Right.
Because he's the one for the bigger topics, for the holistic view, and I think, Roland, you urgently have to run to Hans.
Right, let's go. Because we would like to open, of course, with some statements from Hans Beckhoff. Now, when Hans started the company in 1980, he was a one-man show, so over 40 years ago. Now, today, Hans is running an international company with more than 5,000 employees, but I would like to take his expertise in the different developments. Good morning, Hans.
Good morning.
Now, I just started that you actually started Beckhoff in 1980.
A long time ago.
Yeah, and just 1 year later, IBM launched the first, what we would consider desktop PC.
That's true, yeah.
Now, if we take a look into historical developments, from your opinion, was this a milestone which changed the way we work and we live together, the first PC?
It did indeed. But if you think about the meaning of the 2 letters PC, it's a personal computer, as you know.
Yeah.
And this already explains and shows what kind of influence the PC started to have in these times. Because suddenly it was available for a normal person, first a normal working person in the office, but then later on also at home, and then with laptops traveling around the world, you always have your personal computer with you. And this gives you a lot of opportunities and possibilities to work. And so it changed really life for almost everybody, because today you are connected by PCs. Okay, smartphones coming later, but based on the same philosophy. So you are connected to the world.
Yeah, and I think the PC as the hardware platform needed also communication. And also in the 80s, the Ethernet was founded.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. This is only 40 years old, more or less, where we also use Ethernet. So from your opinion, did this also influence today's life in such a dramatical way?
Yeah, very much. So in the beginning of the PC technology, and also in this time of the 80s, computers were isolated from each other. And when they wanted to, if they wanted to exchange data, then we did this with floppy disks in these times.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so the 5-inch and 3.5-inch and so on. And then at the end of the 80s, beginning of the 90s, Beckhoff also made the first projects connecting our PCs, our industrial PCs, to Ethernet. And Ethernet in these times meant a very thick yellow cable. So, and it was a party line structure. So this means that all the different PCs were connected by copper on the same line without any electronic or switches in between. And therefore, you had to use a vampire terminal to really drill into the copper core of the cable. And in this way, you made a connection from one PC to the other. But it worked. And since then, PCs have become connected to Ethernet all the time. Yeah?
And I think from our point of view, we used the PC already in the 80s for automation.
Yeah.
We also use Ethernet for communication. But I think we made a special twist because we found out that Ethernet is a good backbone, but not perfectly suited for automation. So we founded EtherCAT in the year 2003. So we use the function of Ethernet also for automation.
That's true. So Ethernet itself is developed for IT purposes. And IT means you want to connect to a printer or to another PC or to a mainframe in these days. And this means you always wanted to shuffle big amounts of data in the most effective way. If you look at a machine, then you have a lot of small data packages. So you have 2 bits of digital input over there, 16 bits of analog input somewhere else, 20 meters away. So therefore you have to collect a lot of small amounts of data. And if you send now an Ethernet telegram, a standard telegram to each of these locations, it's becoming very ineffective. And the Beckhoff idea with EtherCAT, which is based on our light bus, a fiber optic bus from the beginning of the 90s we developed, is really to do processing on the fly. And this means with one Ethernet message, we can address a lot of different locations. And in this way, we can collect all the data with one message instead of having 10 or 100 messages. And this was the basic idea behind EtherCAT, but it's near to Ethernet, and therefore we named it EtherCAT, Ethernet for Control Automation Technology.
For more than 20 years, a standard in the industry. Now, today we talk about artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT as a name is only like 3 years around, more or less, but still an absolute buzzword. Do you think that this artificial intelligence will influence the way we live and we work in the same way like the personal computer does or Ethernet did?
Yeah, at least, maybe even more. Yeah. Yeah, I always like to compare it to the invention of the steam machine. So James Watt, English guy, invented the steam machine, I think around 1800 something. And this changed the way industry worked very much, from completely manual work to high-powered steam powered machinery. And so this means the human beings which started to use the steam machines, they got more power because the steam machine generated the power for the humans. And the same can now, and later on with the invention of electricity, so this also changed the way we live, we communicate, and so steam machine, electricity, and now we have artificial intelligence. And I think it's a very similar effect which we will see. So artificial intelligence is something like an amplifier for the human thinking. Like the steam machine has been an amplifier for raw power and for force. And this amplification of thinking will be very interesting to see what's going on. And it might even that some self-intelligence is developing out of these artificial intelligence things. And the interesting thing which Beckhoff is showing on the show here is the connection now with machinery and artificial intelligence, not only on the engineering side, but also on the real functional side. And so with the help of the MCP interfaces, this leads to what is now called physical AI. And this is the future, I think. So there will be LLMs available directly on the machine, helping to control the machine or even being in the lead for controlling the machine.
And I think another famous inventor, Bill Gates, also quoted about the power of artificial intelligence. And Bill Gates said that the power of artificial intelligence is so incredible that it will change society in profound ways.
Yeah.
So you really believe it has a major impact in the way we live, but also we automate machines.
Yeah, it's because of the amplification of thinking, which can be done with artificial intelligence, and it can be done also in an individual way, like the PC brought computing power to everybody. So this artificial intelligence will bring additional thinking power to everybody, and this is really something which may empower everybody. It may also be dangerous because with the help of the physical AI, so the artificial intelligence may take control of machinery, and sometimes in some movies from Hollywood this is seen as danger. We will see.
But I think this is also our responsibility, who are using actually the technology, to put it in a framework that it's not a danger at the end.
Yeah.
And I think I just want to point this out. You just got a big award in Germany. It's called the Rudolf Diesel Award. This is a synonym for innovation, but also for social responsibility in mechanics and plant engineering. So it's not only innovation, but also social responsibility. And I think the usage of AI fits perfect to this responsibility, or?
Yeah, that's true. So first, I'm proud to have the honor to have this medal because it has a big tradition in Germany, and so it means something. And it means especially something because the body who gave it to me are mechanical guys, and I'm an electrical guy. And there's always a little bit of tension at the machine.
Ongoing debate.
Yeah, and in this time, so an electrical guy was honored by mechanical guys. So thanks to the mechanical guys, this means something. And for sure, the second part of the prize about social responsibility, this is true for how to behave as an entrepreneur. So how to form the company and how to look at the responsibility as a technician guy for the technology we are creating. It has these three parts, and I'm honored that they really see that we did something in this way.
Perfect. Well, thanks for the insights, Hans. I think now it's time to take a look into the innovations behind AI. And I'd like to move over to Felix, and we take a deeper look into the products we can offer.
Yes,
let's move on.
Now, Roland, we are finally figuring out how AI can help your machine to make better decisions, to make faster decisions, and how to make the engineering more efficient. But Fabian, one question is always about making a new technology accessible.
Yeah.
How do we do that?
We make it simple. So the idea is currently AI is more like for machine learning specialists. It's for the data scientists. And our approach is currently to design a platform that everybody can use. It's really designed and focused on the use for automation experts and process experts.
And we are targeting with this task-specific models, so real-time decision helpers based on AI, right?
Exactly. The idea is we train a very specific model based on own data, so the customer or the user of the platform is providing the data. And the data specifies the application. And our platform takes care about the training process. So the user doesn't have to take care about how do I train a model, what model type do I select, how do I train it, what are the parameters. That's all automated inside of our platform. So the user only takes care about the applications, the data, the samples, and in the end deploys the application on the control level.
So that means if I am about to develop a banana sorting machine which decides if a banana is good or bad, I do not longer have to write an algorithm. I just need a couple hundred pictures of good and bad bananas.
Exactly.
And I can train the machine, and then the machine can decide in real time if a banana is good or not good, in my opinion or according to the model.
Exactly. So you're an engineer. You don't have a data science background. But you, of course, are also then able to create such kind of AI model. You provide the data, 50 samples of good bananas, bad bananas uploaded, and in the end, you only click a button, you train a model, and you inspect the model if the model does what you expect it to do, and then you download the model, including also the PLC source code that you can integrate into in the TwinCAT engineering system.
So it's really a completely integrated workflow. What did we target so far? What kind of use cases have we looked into the most until now?
Yeah, we don't have so many banana use cases right now, but we are focusing...
That's bad for your potassium levels, I think.
Yeah, but we are focusing on vision tasks currently.
Okay.
So vision inspection tasks, sorting. Your banana example is one of those. So of course we don't focusing on bananas, but we have
plastic
plastic parts. We also have one customer who wanted to sort eggs into certain quality levels, inspection of surfaces, and so on. So this is the main focus area.
But I think this also gives it some exclusivity because, I mean, we have wonderful cameras, you have wonderful cameras on this wall. Our vision units, we will come back to this later over the week, but in all honesty, not every machine has a camera.
Exactly, and that's why on this show, first time also show that it doesn't have to be an image.
Okay.
So we can also now work with standard signals and time series data that every machine produces. So we do not longer limit our capabilities of the machine learning creator to a subgroup of so those guys who use vision data, but we extend it to the user group of every machine builder, because every machine builder has time series and signals.
Okay, so this means if I'm measuring a force, if I'm measuring a temperature, I can use this, I can take all this data, archive it and train my model with it, and then I can make a prediction what kind of force will result to which temperature in my pressing process, for example.
For instance.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So it's a really nice helper. You need to only have data, which every machine already has. It's already integrated in the workflow. We can bring it to you with the ML creator. You don't need a camera for it, just what you already have. And then you don't need to make very complicated algorithms for decision making.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Fabian. I wish you a very wonderful exhibition. But I now have a question which I will try to answer with Johannes,
Right.
because time series analysis is a fantastic thing. And it comes quite naturally for machine builders. But for me, as a private person, time series analysis is maybe a bit further away. If I'm interacting with AI, it's usually ChatGPT. Johannes, can you maybe differentiate a little bit between my app on the phone and time series analysis and the whole different streams of technologies in there?
I can try to, even though you just got away from the expert. So, but I'll try my best. Yeah. So in general, you're right. Two different things, a little bit the same. So because both are AI, but time series and image processing and generative AI is definitely something different. So we usually differentiate in two things. First, machine learning, classical machine learning, as we all know it, which is therefore be neural networks trained on very specific data for a very specific task or problem, and then this neural network, this AI can only do a solution or an algorithm for this problem.
Yeah.
However, generative AI is a little bit more, because it's generative, so it can generate new outcomes, it can also adapt to new tasks which it never seen before. So this kind of brings a complete new possibilities what you can do with artificial intelligence.
Okay. One time for real-time decision making, non-algorithm based, you could say. The other one for generating new information, basically. How are we addressing these two streams of development?
Yeah, well, we are developing on the artificial intelligence part for quite some time. So we started the development group in 2017. Since then, we are investigating especially machine learning. We also launched a couple of products. So for example, our machine learning inference, which for TwinCAT, so the calculation of neural networks in the real time, which came to the market in 2019. And over the way, we announced some or released some new products like machine learning server, TwinCAT machine learning inference for vision, and so on. We also integrated machine learning into our own products. You know that very well as product manager for Xplanar. So the Xplanar would not fly without neural networks, right? And of course, now with the new kind of generative AI, we are also integrating the generative AI with the TwinCAT CoAgent into our machines, into our control.
Yeah, with the Xplanar, it's a wonderful example, because we are actually doing in less than 100 microseconds position detection of a very complex magnetic field in real time. It works absolutely beautiful, also to be seen on this on this show. But actually, why are we doing all of this?
Because we want to bring AI to our customers, of course. Because I think nowadays we don't have to tell anyone what benefits can be used by through the usage of artificial intelligence. We know this from our everyday lives. Artificial intelligence is everywhere in searching algorithms of Google, for example. When you're going on any social network, there's AI involved. And since ChatGPT, well, I don't know about you, I use it a lot. Yep. So we know the benefits of it. But at the moment, we mainly know AI from operating on digital data only. And this is something which is very cool and very helpful, but there's a next step, because we are an automation company, so we automate real machines which interact with the real world, and that's what we want to do. We want to bring AI into the real physical world, so we want to do physical AI, which is also a known word nowadays, but we want to bring physical AI into the machines, into our control, to make AI to make machines better.
Yeah. And we have quite some examples here in our booth. We can see our art robot. Again, you can play chess So the AI is influencing how you play chess here, right? Or how you can win against
Yeah,
the
and it's
robot.
also interacting directly with the Atro robot because it's sending comments to the Atro.
Yep.
So it's really interacting with the real-time control of the machine.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting use case. What kind of economic challenges are we addressing with physical AI and also with the generative AI topics which we are integrating?
Well, I would say most of the challenges that our customers have. So for, of course, at very first, labor shortage, especially for skilled workers during engineering, programming, but also installation of applications, and then also the service and maintenance of machines. Of course, there AI, especially generative AI and physical AI, can help a lot by reducing the time you need for coding, reducing the time you need for service and everything like that. But what's really important always for us, because this is kind of the DNA of Beckhoff, we want to make machines more efficient. So we also want to use AI, not only to make programming more efficient, we want to make the runtime of machines and the output of machines more efficient. And this is where we really think physical AI will benefit, and where they will benefit from physical AI, and that's where we want to head. Bring physical AI to the machines, make them efficient.
So a very, very interesting path which we are exploring in depth. So far we have talked a lot about software parts. What kind of influences do you see on the hardware side?
Well, of course, it changes a little bit what customers ask for. So, of course, the hardware, especially the PCs where we do our control with, they ask for bigger PCs with graphic cards, for example. But let's start from the beginning. So what do you need to do AI? First of all, data collection. You need to collect some data in order to train something. And we do PC-based control since quite some time, nearly 40 years now. And PC-based control is exactly about that. One central control, one central hardware, one central software, which is collecting all the data from the machine and is processing it. And of course, we can also use those data to store it, to send it somewhere else, and to train neural networks with it. So this part is inherently done by our control philosophy. Second part, then the real-time calculation of the artificial intelligence. And therefore, again, PC-based control also means we are taking the x86 processors from Intel, AMD, and other vendors, integrating them into our PCs. And nowadays in the new developments, those processors already offer a lot of processing units for specially calculating neural networks. And then, of course, if it gets to bigger and more complex tasks, we also now offer PCs with graphic cards integrated, for example, for image processing and also for the local inference of a large language model.
Okay, so it's all integrated in the portfolio, hardware and software-wise. And thank you, Johannes. I think it's fair to say that with everything you have here on the booth, you are very well equipped for the machine of the future with AI. One thing is maybe open until now. Maybe you think, when can I finally ask TwinCAT, hey, create all my code? And this question is going to be answered by Roland and Jannis.
Well, more than 250 years ago, the steam machine was invented. But 25 years ago, James Bond was able to talk to his BMW 750 IL. He used his cell phone, which was in the car, and the great Agent Q made it possible that James Bond could talk to his car. Now, our Q is Jannis. I got Jannis with me. Hey, good morning, Jannis. Now, if James Bond can talk to his car and we can talk to the Atro, is this our CoAgent or what is this function all about?
Yes, in general it is. So physical AI is a big topic right now, and we try to show our future idea for that. Give the AI control over our Atro robot to control it and use the LLM for that. And LLMs have the big benefit that they are multimodal, that you can use speech as an input and an output, and also vision. So yeah, it's a nice example.
Okay, now I was also told that we are here also showcasing something brand new, and this is the use of AI ready for operations, real machine life. Okay, we change the microphone. I just ask you how we can also use AI for operations, and maybe you can give us an insight.
Yes, so this is our TwinCAT CoAgent for operation, and the main focus is addressing service cases on running machines. So we want to assist the user of the machine and the service personnel that they have a direct access to the information of the machine. So you have a chat in your HMI and can ask a question, something like what's going on with my machine, I have this and this behavior. And then in the background, the agent is doing his work, collecting all the information from the machine and giving you a report with instructions how to solve the problem. And this should be a good solution for the future to optimize.
That means that in operation, I get right away basically the adjustments or the improvements to avoid the failure, right?
Yes, exactly. So something like warnings, but also when you have an error, you can ask for how to solve the problem, and that you don't need maybe support from our side.
Okay. Now, in order to simplify the programming, we can even start a step earlier. And this is something which we have already showcased last year on the trade show, but I think this is something where we have a beta version now available. So this is CoAgent for programming. So is this something customers can already work with?
Yes, we started with the first beta customers and we are extending the group right now. And as you already mentioned, for this we're focusing on the engineering part. So you can create PLC codes examples, you can create HMIs and configure your TwinCAT project. Something like I/O configuration and other real-time settings, for example. And we want to extend it even more to the engineering right now.
Okay. So this is something that customers can explore already, the function feature of the CoAgent. Now, last but not least, Janis, you told me that you have created an integration of a special protocol. You call this MCP, the Model Context Protocol, where customers can actually integrate their own work. How helps this actually to standardize the work with KI?
Yes, so as you already mentioned, MCP is a protocol. You can compare it a little bit to a USB-C connector for generative AI. Mm-hmm. So it's a standardized way to access standard software like TwinCAT, for example, but also like ERP systems from customers or databases, something like that. And when they support this interface, then we can easily connect it to CoAgent and get this information. And context is everything for generative AI. And if you get more context about the customer and the project, then the results will get even better.
I think that's so amazing, Janis. We just talked about this topic maybe 3 years, and there are already products available, betas available, and even standardization is ready. I think this is really amazing what happened in this artificial intelligence field the last 3 years. Well, thank you. I need to take the microphone because we have got some interferences here. I hope you can follow us still. Sorry for that. Now I think it's time to wrap up. And let's take a look what Felix did the last 5 minutes. He has the special microphone cable in his hand with the bayonet connector. Felix, I talked about the CoAgent and optimization, operation optimization, and you collected hardware. So why is this important?
Because if you want to optimize something, you need a machine. Yeah, for a machine, you need clever automation technology. You need flexible drive technology. Of course, the Explainer is a perfect example for it. You need powerful, capable PCs with GPUs inside.
Yeah, you just talked about the integration even of graphic cards into a PC.
You need a camera. The machine needs eyes, so you can use the ML creator to decide if it's a good or a bad banana. You need, of course, lots of software, and you need a fast connection between the PC and the field level. And for the field level, we have something quite exciting, a sneak preview for tomorrow.
Yeah, you brought this with you here. Maybe we make really a sneak preview. We call this the ED series, but honestly, this is not a specific artificial intelligent product, right? It's a backbone
maybe not, you don't know.
So when we will talk about the ED terminals?
I think we will do it tomorrow, and then we will also figure out what this is about. Is this really the AI terminal or maybe something else?
Well, then this is the invitation for you. Thanks for joining today. Thanks for accepting some microphone issues. But we hope we see us again tomorrow with a clear, crystal clear broadcast and with great news about the ED terminal. What else is on the topic?
I think cables are very justified. We learned this today as well. What else is on the topic? Of course, drive technology is tomorrow a big thing.
Yes, the new economy drives.
Move a little bit. And of course, we will try to have fun together, Roland. So I'm looking forward to meet you tomorrow morning again.
Okay, have a wonderful day. And we're looking forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.